Good afternoon, and welcome to another Ifa Temple service in the park. My name is Baba Anthony, and I am here to discuss with you the message of today, which is the importance of prayer. Prayer is extremely important for Ifa and Orisha devotees. It is the foundation of how we get through our day, our week, how we work with the Orishas. It is the foundation of everything that we do. So today I'm going to talk about the importance of prayer, and I'm going to share Odu verses that support that. Well, before we start, let's define what prayer is. Prayer is a solemn request for help or a way to show gratitude to the Creator, right? In our case, it could be a way that we show gratitude to Orunmila, which is part of our morning prayers. We will show gratitude for all the good things that Orunmila has brought to us, all the blessings that Orunmila has brought to us in our lives. So think about that while we discuss today's messages. The first verse we're going to be reciting from is the verse of from EJIOGBE. That's Ogbe on the right and Ogbe on the left, EJIOGBE. The verse goes like this: Otoro, Otora. Ajakoro bele, agbadiri kiridi, apenla apenla. They shared brass with them at Oluido, the offspring of our God that stops and removes evil from the land. They shared okun beads with them at Irada land. Orunmila, it was listening ears that you brought back home. They inquired, why was it only listening ears that you brought back home? Orunmila responded that if it was all of his children, he said that if they were at Iko Awusi and they were lamenting their inability to have wealth, he said he would listen carefully to their pleas. He would then return quickly. He would attend to their financial problems and they would be blessed with abundant wealth. He said that if he were to be at Idoro Mause, he would listen carefully to their pleas and return quickly and attend to their infertility problems and they would be blessed with good children. He said that if they were to be at Ife Odaye, where the good day dawns, and his children were lamenting in the inability to be blessed with all good things of life, he said he would listen carefully to their pleas and would return quickly. He would attend to their inability to secure all the good things of life, and they would be blessed with all ire and abundance. So here in this verse of EJIOGBE, Orunmila, who is our prophet of Ifa, is the one that asked for listening ears when he was going through things that he wanted to have important in his life. With those listening ears, he would then help his children no matter where they were. In this particular verse, there were different cities, different towns that were being mentioned, and Orunmila was expressing himself in a way to say that no matter where his children are, he wants to hear their prayers. He wants to hear what they need. He wants to hear the challenges that they are going through in their life. What does he do with that? He then goes and takes their requests to Olodumare so that they can be granted. And he returns quickly in order to support them, right? And those of us that have been through an Ifa divination, those of us that have been in Ifa and Orisha practice for a while, we understand that working with Orunmila, he gives us solutions. He gives us a prescription for the problem or challenge that we're facing, and then assists us with finding our way out of that, right? It starts with character development. It starts with telling us how we need to adjust our life in any certain way. Then he'll give us the Ebo materials and whatever we need to support ourselves. The listening ears. Olodumare wants to hear the challenges that we are having in our lives so that he can bring blessings to us. And I say that he in a general way. We don't see Olodumare as male or female, but we see it, right, as the all-encompassing being that encompasses everything. So I'm just using he as part of the conversation right now. So please understand that. So as I was saying, Olodumare is wanting to bless us with the things we want in life. So we must pray. Olodumare is not going to be reacting to, oh, well, I know that I need this in my life. If I'm not asking for it, if I sit quietly and I don't ask for what I need in my life, then Olodumare won't support me. The Orisha and the Oromole won't support me to get those things that I need. Prayer is an important part of the process. Let's go to another verse of Ifa. This comes from the Odu of Iwori Bogbe. Iwori Bogbe. When a fowl drinks water, it will give praise to God. This was Ifa's declaration to Adabasusu, the dove, when lamenting for her inability to give birth to a baby. She was advised to offer a bow. She complied. When a fowl drinks water, it will give praise to God. This was Ifa's declaration to EJIOGBE, the farmer, when going to the annual farm cultivation. He was advised to offer a bow. So here we have a story, and we'll put this in perspective. It's kind of two stories that are happening at the same time, but we have the story of Adabasusu, which is the dove, and we have the story of EJIOGBE, who is the farmer. So Adabasusu lived up in a tree on the farmland of this particular farmer. She was dealing with an issue in her life of wanting to have children, yet she hadn't had children and she felt like she wasn't going to have children. So she found herself praying and praying and praying to Olodumare, and then putting herself in a position where she would go to the home, as we say, the home of Ifa, to have Ifa cast to support her. So she goes and she's, given the instructions on what she should be doing. And the major instruction from the Awo was that she needed to be in a place where she put Olodumare first. She needed to be in a place where no matter what she did, in order to have her children, she needed to say, by the grace of Olodumare, please support me in giving birth to children. She received the Ebo materials, she offered the Ebo, and she left that domain. She returns back to her home. She lays 2 eggs. She has 2 children. Ashe. So now we go to the story of EJIOGBE. EJIOGBE was a very successful farmer over the years, and he liked to go and have Ifa cast in order to support him. And so just like any other season, he goes to have Ifa cast with an Awo, and the Awo gives him very similar advice from the Odu of Iwori Bogbe, that you need to put Olodumare first in all that you do. If you can do that, you're going to have another wonderful year of beautiful crops. You'll sell a lot. You'll have great success in everything that you do. But for some reason, this particular farmer, because he'd been so successful in his life, he said to himself, he said, you know what? No, I actually think I'm good. I think I've been successful. I understand what to do. I'm good. I'm just gonna go take care of the things I need to do, and I think I can handle it this year. Why do I need to put out money for a bow? The advice makes sense, but for right now, I'm not really considering it. I'm just gonna do what I have to do. So he leaves the Awo's home. He doesn't offer the Abo. He's not quite paying attention to the advice. He's just doing his own thing. So he had noticed while he was moving around his farmland that the doves were up in a tree on his land. And he thought to himself, or actually rather he said out loud, he said, wow, you know what? Those doves look ready to eat. I think I'm gonna wait a couple days, get some things together. I'm gonna come back, catch those doves, and we're gonna have a feast at home. Now, this was overheard by Adabasusu. Adabasusu found herself in a place where now she was worried. She was very, very concerned. So the farmer goes home, he sees his wife, he says, please go get some of the best spices, some peppers from the garden, some, different things. We're gonna have some doves to eat in a few days, 3 doves. So I want you to go get everything prepared. Once we do, I'm going to go out and get the doves so that we can have an amazing dinner. So the dove was freaked out. Adabasusu was freaked out. She leaves. She goes back to the Awo, or the domain of Olodumare, to find out what she can do. She says, I was in a place where, I was begging to have children. Now we're in danger. Please support me. Please. She was asking for assistance from the Ormole, from the Awos. And the question was asked to her. She says, well, did you hear the farmer say, by the grace of Olodumare? Was the farmer praying? Was the farmer, showing any reverence or respect to Olodumare? And she says, no, I did not hear that from him. They said to Adabasusu, okay, you return home, you will be fine, you and your children will be fine. She says, Ashe. By the grace of Olodumare, all will be well. So she returns to her home. The farmer gets himself ready. Onyagbe finds himself going out. He's like, all right, it's the time to catch the dove and her two children so we can have our feast. He makes his way out, and as he is moving in the direction of Adabasusu and her two kids, he ends up getting bit by a snake, a poisonous snake. Kind of a freak accident. He knew how to make his way around, and he didn't see the snake. He got bit by the snake. Caused him to fall very ill. He gets back home. His wife's trying to take care of him, help him out. Not but a few days later, he hears that his mother had fallen ill. She was on her deathbed. Even though he was sick himself, he gathered himself together and he travels to his mother's home to go and care for her. So we say about two moons had passed, 28 to 30 days had passed, or 2 moons. So I guess more like 60 days, or close to 60 days had passed, and his mother passed away. Onyagbe was in a place where now, he had just lost his mother, so he was filled with grief. He hadn't quite healed himself, so he was just dealing with challenges of being run down and the loss of his mother. So he's in a particular place where he just couldn't understand what was happening to him. And this went on for about another 8 or 9 months, that he found himself just really not doing well, he didn't have good crops. He wasn't able to work the farm. Things were kind of falling apart for him during this time that he was ill. So he decides to return to the home of the Awo, who had cast Ifa for him initially. The Awo speaks to Onyagbe, and he casts Ifa for him, and he says, everything that you've done or haven't done has caused you to deal with these many challenges. What's important for you to know now is that you need to change your life around. You need to give prayer and praise to Olodumare and everything that you do. You need to offer abo so that the Ormole and the Orisha can support you for things to get better. Onyagbe was in a position where he really needed help, right? It's like that sometimes in our life, where it's not until we're in the deepest, darkest place that we actually turn to prayer and we'll hear the advice that we really need. So Onyagbe hears the advice. He offers his ebo and he leaves the home of the Awo, and he says, by the grace of Olodumare, may my life turn around. May my life improve. May the good things come to me that should come to me. And he started to see the improvement. Little by little, things started to get better. He started to get healthy again. Onyagbe was thankful for all that was done for him. Now, mind you, a year had passed, and he comes back to his farm, and he happens to be moving around his farm, cleaning things up, and he sees up in the tree, he says, they're the doves. At this point, they're all full-grown birds. Big, fat, plump, and healthy. So Onyagbe, the farmer, says to himself, he says, well, actually not to himself, he says, by the grace of Olodumare, my wife and I will eat well. We will experience, a delicious meal and, have these doves to eat. So he says his prayer, he moves about, and he asks his wife to start to get things ready. Of course, Adabasusu, being the God-fearing bird, if you will, that she was, she goes back to the realm of the Iramoles, Olodumare, and asks for assistance. And they asked her the same questions they asked last time. Did the farmer pray or ask for the blessings of Olodumare for him to be supported? And Adabasusu says, yes, he did. So the advice that the Iromole gave to Adabasusu is that she needs to move on. She needs to find a new home, a new place. That was the only way that she was going to be safe. Otherwise, the farmer would be successful in his attempts to have her and her family as a meal. So Adabasusu heard this advice. She quickly rushed home, offered her elbow, quickly rushed home, gets her 2 adult doves, and then they all leave. So that particular story has so many lessons that are involved, right? First, the main lesson that we have to think of, and I know that many religious folks say this same thing, and it's not really that much different in Ifa, right? We must put Olodumare first in all that we do. So let's think about that. We have to put Olodumare first in all that we do. So we need to offer our prayers. We need to be thankful. When we need assistance, we need to pray for assistance. When things are going well, we need to pray that things continue to go well, right? By the grace of Olodumare, may we have the support of the Iromole and the Orisha in all that we do. It is absolutely key to our success as Ifa devotees. Absolutely key. Number 2, the second lesson, as EJIOGBE faced his own problems, he found himself when he thought that he knew better than Olodumare, than the creator, that he knew better than Ifa, that he knew better than the Iromole that were giving him the advice, that he could do everything he needed to without them. And he ended up facing more challenges in his life that it made it to the point where he almost lost his own life, right? We don't want to be that person, not as devotees of Ifa and Orisha. We're here for guidance, we're here for support, we're here so that we can live the best life we need to live, right? Once EJIOGBE learned that lesson, once he went through his trials and tribulations, then he was thankful. Then he was asking for the support of Olodumare and the Iromole. He was asking for help in order for him to be successful. That's an important thing, right? And so my message to you all from sharing this verse today is that we need to understand that prayer is key to our success. Prayer is how we're going to get through our day-to-day, our week-to-week, our month-to-month, our year-to-year. When things are going well for us, we need to pray that they continue to go well. When things are difficult for us, we need to maintain our prayer and understand quite a few things. One, we're going to need a little bit of patience, because whether it may be an outside source or our own dealing or just part of our destiny to go through that challenge, we need to make sure that we have patience so that we can see ourselves through it. We need to make sure that we have the guidance of Ifa and Orisha so that we know which direction we need to take when we're going through those challenges, right? In the end, prayer is key to the success for all things that we do. So I hope I've explained that well. I want to thank you for watching the temple service today. Understand that prayer is the key to everything that we do. If you have any questions or would like to be a part of our temple here in Miami, or part of our WhatsApp group, which we share knowledge, we have discussions on occasions. I myself, usually on Friday evenings, will have an open forum. We'll usually have a topic where we'll discuss amongst ourselves, where I'll share information about Ifa and Orisha, because I believe that people should learn about Ifa and Orisha in order to better their lives. I ask that you join us. Send us a message. Ideally, you can send a message through WhatsApp. Our phone number is on the temple page, Ifa Temple of Miami. We also have a Facebook page, Okanranso-de Temple, and Instagram, Okanranso-de Temple. Thank you again for being supporters and watchers of the knowledge that we're sharing. I hope you have a wonderful week. Aboru aboye.